talk about this moment. Okay, so if we've allowed all this variety, and count it all joy, right? The Bible tells us in James, this life is to count it all joy. Joy is a destiny. All right. So if we're here together and we're going through this, we're floating down that river, and we're all going to come out at 5 o'clock where they're going to pick us up together, and how we're going out is variety down that river. We're all doing our variety dance. So let's enjoy the variety. And now let's say, okay, I'm only speaking of this moment and how I'm counting it all joy and making my joy soup. And so all that variety is in your soup. Some of it, we say it's spiced our soup. It has marinated our soup. Some of us have had that soup on cooking for years, and some of us it's brand new soup, though it's just joy soup. So when we understand about this illusion of time, it's all it is, an illusion, is let's look at our goals as many targets at the same moment. So if you're, and I just will ask for a show of hands, who has their life goals written down on this call? Okay, all right. And I also challenge that you have your life goals written in many departments of your life. So let's say you take 8 departments or compartments of your life, and you've got a health goal, and you've got wealth goals, and you've got community goals, and you've got charity and giving goals, and you've got security and finance goals, or whatever words you'd like to use. And so we actually put them on targets, and we put our bullseye in the middle of what it is that is the ultimate satisfaction in each of the areas of our lives. So please have many areas going on at once. Okay, a difference is a to-do list is kind of just talking about this moment and what's happening, or this year plan or 5-year plan. So these targets shall be being added to all the time. And you can say, is it just something that's a trip? For me, it was a trip around the world. Okay, that would be on an outer river, in variety, right? It was one outer ring. So it's so fun when you can actually highlight that as completed. Though then I add more pieces in, and I say, is this the bullseye? Is this further out? Is this all the way out? Where are we on that target? So have many targets, and I'm glad that the first thing, and I say it in true gladness and grace, that it's so important that we have bullseyes set up in all areas of our life. So please check that you are simultaneously working on bullseyes in all areas of your life. When we wake up in the morning, we throw out energy arrows, right? Just by breathing, just by speaking. And are those arrows having targets to actually hit? And so do you have enough targets in your life? That's another question. Have you really spanned and thought? Here's one, because I see that we're all pretty mature on this call. Legacy. Do we have a legacy bullseye? Do we have a legacy target? Okay, please put one, just to have one, right? Because there's energy arrows going out of all of us just because we breathe and we wake up. So please have and include, I put them on the back of a door. So I line up for my children, and I line up our targets. So you can look at them every day, and you can add to them with the different color pens and all this. Add to them, add sticky notes and stickers on there, and anything that comes your way. So let's add the energy arrows and more targets that they can actually filter out to and hit. All right, so let's keep talking a little bit more about words. Here's a word, unconditional love, right? Okay, let's look at that word, right? There's an un in it. There's a condition in it, next to the most perfect word, love. That's why in the Bible, there's only agape love. This word unconditional, 0 times appears. In any of the readings. It never appears in the Buddha readings. It never appears in the Allah readings. So what is this word that we use? Unconditional next to love. Have you ever heard the term, the sky's the limit? Have we looked up there? Are we speaking, the Native Americans said forked tongue, like a little snake. We're saying one thing and we're really meaning something else. Watch what we're truly bringing in. Your words set the stage to your vibrational field. Okay? So these are common phrases. We hear them all day long. Please have the comeback ready. If we walk away and let somebody say, no problem, and then you go in your car, how about when they say no problem, just say, God bless me and you, or let the blessings flow, or have the final word, please. In everything you do, have the neutral or better final word. So we can spice our soup. Spice your soup. Put the final word on it. Always put the final word on it. So be it. You've heard of many of the masters that you've studied, and they so be it. They are sealing the situation by so be it. The Eckhart, the Eck master, he says, let the blessings flow. In Hebrew, it's shalom. And shalom means hello, it means goodbye, it means let there be peace. So have your shalom word that you, and Jesus always shalomed on the way in and shalomed on the way out, and the rabbis do that too. Have your phrases that you will constantly bless the situation and the moment. So when you walk out, you turn around and you have the final word. You have the final call or the final blessing on every situation. And it can just be, I bring it to God in prayer. So when somebody's doing a lot of this, you just say, oh, I trust that God has it all figured out. I'll bring it to God with you in prayer. Have your phrases and your smile so that your joy can be full. You know, the Bible tells us, make sure you rejoice. Again, I say rejoice, and that your joy may be full. All right. So some of the other phrases and questions that we get all the time as we teach this and as we work with people, they'll have repetitive patterns that until you have somebody listening to your own speech with you, your prayer partner sitting right next to you and pointing it out to you, we tend to have this self-talk, we call it. Watch in your own mind your self-talk. Do you ever say, oh, you stupid? Or, oh, that was dumb? How about, oh, that was brilliant. Let's get more brilliant, Carissa. You're a genius, Carissa. Let's do some more genius things. Oh, your past was perfect for you. Now let's do it better. You know, let's do life better. Let's be more satisfied with life. So again, remember, duct tape your mouth until you start training your mind and your tongue to work in harmony with God. And the Holy Spirit will do absolutely what comes out of your mouth. So your word trumps your thought. And all this, the secret, we've all understand that. So what is the thought? The thought is a generator. The thought is a magnetic force. It's a generator and it's a magnetic force. Your word pulls from the thin air and creates it into this pen. So if you think, oh, I should have some pens, and then you can declare, I would like a light blue pen, I would like it with white, and I would like it to say the words receive joy on it, and I would like it to cost this amount of money, and I would like it delivered to this address. So when we put our order in full with our own mouth behind it, the world's gonna show it up at your door. And that's why we all got where we are today. Part of us spoke it into existence. Whether our consciousness was 100% there or the opposite, we spoke it into existence. We agreed on it. And that's why we're here. Our own will is so powerful. And I love it. I love how Jean was telling us that she was saying, you know, my will is what brought me here and what got me to where I am. Absolutely. It's all about your will. So one of your prayers shall be every morning, align my will with yours, Creator. Align my will with yours and let the blessings flow. So this whole thing about free will, that we're so excited that we've got our own speech and we have free will. let me just offer up an interesting thought about free will. There's laws on this universe that were set up before, and even Jesus followed them and God followed them. And one of the laws of speaking everything into existence, God said, let there be light. He spoke it all into existence. Moses went on the mountain with God and he talked in the burning bush, right? So things were all spoken into existence. And if we can understand that just like that, our mouth that creates everything, if our vibrational field can stay, we call it stay on the mountain with God, stay up on God's mountain, view your world satisfied, view your world friendly, stay on the mountain with God, and call out from that position, up on the mountain with God. Stay there. So that there's the law of gravity, and then there's the law of lift. So an airplane that weighs tons, right, somehow can lift and fly. So it supersedes the law of gravity. We got the law of lift. So we've got this law of attraction you all heard of. And there is a law like the airplane that can lift above the law of attraction. And that is the power of the word. So there's a playing field, this universe. And that's what I call myself an expert in, the quantum world. So the invisible. How do you use, where, when you look around, what is there most of in this room? Air, thin air, invisible. That's where all the power lies. And I know that each one of you has done some of the studying to start activating and working with this power. I'm here to tell you that power is voice activated, and it's activated with words. And thus, when you look at what have all the, when God himself left us, he could have left us anything. He left us a book. When you open that book, what's it full of? One thing, words. And any religion that you are, when you go back to the scrolls or the original documents and you look, what was left? Words. When we have a child and we birth that child, what's the most important thing we feel after walking that child should do? Speak a language, words. Write words. You know, art's great. We love kids to draw pictures, right? Although we send them to school to learn speech and words. And then when do we check on all those words? And what are those words really doing, right? Okay, so once you learned over, how about it's just beginning? So God helped us all help our children even get into education so we can learn how to read and write words, and sometimes many languages, some of us. So let's think about this. Wow, we know it's significant. It's really significant, all these words. And I love it because Patrick and I had an opportunity with Sylvie to have a beautiful discussion on Babble-on. And remember what that city, the word itself, Babble-on, right? If we're saying unconditional love, we're still babbling on. If we're saying perfect love, we are now finally in command of our language. If we ever allow somebody to say no problem around us and then say zero, we're babbling on. We're letting other people babble on and influence our world. So if you want to be satisfied all the time, you use your mind and your tongue, train it to work together, check every word. Has anybody ever say they wish for a stress-free day? Or to be stressless? Or to be unstoppable? Do you understand that if you command this universe to give you an opportunity to be unstoppable, part has to stop first. And you called that in. That's how much power we have. So if you mean continual flow forever, use those words. Continually flowing righteously forever. So watch every word. Watch every single word. Yeah, so it gives us something to think about here. And Sylvie and I said it took us about 9 months to master our tongue, to completely be aware of our self-talk, the exact words our self-talk is happening in, and then what is coming forth out of our mouths, and have we removed words? Dr. Emoto, are some of you familiar with Dr. Emoto's crystal water samples? The crystals, frozen words? Do look up, Patrick, share it with everybody maybe when you do your line. He froze water samples and he put words on jars, just a word. And he put beautiful words, and then they froze into beautiful crystals. And then he put negative words. And even, here's a word, must. He put the word must, M-U-S-T, on a jar, and it zero, just mud. I'm going to eliminate that word out of my vocabulary forever. I would like crystal and structure words.
Let us.
Beautiful. So let us freezes beautiful.
I choose to.
Mm-hmm. So let's check his list of 400 words. That was the first thing that Sylvie and I did, and say, let's eliminate anything that he proved froze to less than creation power, because I would like total creation power with every word coming forth. So God promises us that every word coming forth from your mouth shall be answered in this universe. Let's just check that every word is producing our exact goals, our exact satisfaction, our exact joy, and that we can be happy and count it all joy.
Let's share some Bible verses about
Sure.
that.
Go ahead. Would you like to?
Yeah. So make some notes that you can look it up, because everything we talk about it's all already written down in the Bible, and then we make it even more easy with Blessed by the Tongue. And this book is already on Amazon to download as an ebook. If you wish to have the print version, let me know. It's coming out soon. So we list a lot of Bible verses to remind you of this truth. So out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. So we have to check our thoughts, our heart, that we know what's voice activated.
I'll repeat it again. Out of the abundance of the heart, the tongue speaks. Okay, wow. So is our heart abundant? Are we telling our happy stories? Are we only deciding from now on that everybody can love us just as much if we just tell the happy stories about us?
Death and life are in the power of the tongue, and they that love it shall eat the fruit thereof.
So death and life are in the power of the tongue. That's big stuff, guys. We all heard this lots of times. When are we going to be old enough to start practicing it? Right, Russell? With 8 children behind you. Every word coming out of your mouth has to be checked, because it's going to be repeated 8 times right back at you throughout 8 lifetimes. This is why this training is probably the most important training I ever had in my life. Beyond Wayne Dyer, beyond the Course of Miracles, beyond everything that ever has. And what it's done is it's allowed success and happiness, health, and wealth, the 3 areas of life that people really are looking to master and get total abundance in. Go ahead, Sylvia.
For verily I say unto you, that whosoever shall say unto this mountain, be thou removed, and be thou cast into the sea, but shall believe that those things which he saith shall come to pass, he shall have whatsoever he saith.
Okay. We shall have whatsoever we saith. Wow. If we saith to the mountain, move, and have that vibration of faith and belief behind it, and it shall be done. And that's why Jesus laughs and says, the faith of just the smallest seed of mustard seed is all you need. Why? Because if you can master your tongue, it's moving. That mountain is moving. Patrick, you saw it when you did your I declare statement, and you were happy. Did you share that with everybody, your I declare statement?
No, I haven't gotten the declare statements, but yeah, well, just personally, since meeting you, Carissa and Sylvie, I used to have a sailor mouth. Like I would drop didn't even matter who you were. I would just drop whatever cursing language I have. And I don't do that today. And sometimes something will slip and I'll catch it, and I guess one of the things that helped me was when you were sharing about declaring, and then we get off course because it's a new way of like seeing the world, or more of a new awareness of how life is right here, right now, is that saying the redeclare. I now redeclare.
Yes.
And that's huge, because it conceptually it's okay, great. And then you get sometimes in that hypnosis or then that trance of just hearing things and your language but it's getting back to that. I now redeclare right here, right now, this, and then getting back on course. And maybe you share a little bit about that.
Okay. So I say what I really mean. Sometimes I have to say, when something comes out of my own mouth, I say, what do I really mean? What I really mean is, and then I might have to redeclare it again. Oh, what I really mean is, and redeclare to this universe, because it's like it's getting the dough made, right? To make whatever you're declaring. And if you can get it clearer and clearer, and then say, this is exactly what I'm declaring. So I declare is how we write it right down as a declaration statement. I declare that I now have or am ... And you can write this once on the top of your page and then list everything, or you can write it over and over 100 different times. I declare. So we have it printed right at the top of the page there. And in our journals and workbooks now, if you're using them, you understand why this is so important. If you declare to that mountain that it shall move, it will move. That's what the Bible tells us. Have we been that clear with our declaration statements? So when we have our bullseye and our goals, let's go now and declare them out loud, written. So we think the thought, we write the word, and we speak it out loud, not 3 times.
So here's a question for you. What's the difference between declaring and affirmations?
Okay. Affirmations are for you. Declaration is to move the molecules in this universe. Affirmations get your vibration feeling good. So it's like, it's if I'm a cell phone, right? I have a cell phone over here. If I'm the cell phone and I'm out of range, the greatest calls can be coming in. A lot of us have been on a cruise ship, right? And so there's days where you're out at sea and you get 0 reception. So when you get in port, right, we're excited because all of a sudden you've got connection, and then boop, 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 all the calls come in, all the messages show up. Now those messages were transmitted at a certain time. It even shows you on the phone when they were transmitted. Though because you were out of range, that's when we're angry or we're upset or we're goofy or we're speaking tongue like that. Like you were saying, Patrick, or about yesterday, we're talking about yesterday. If we're speaking of yesterday, are we into today? Are we receiving these new great calls? So keeping yourself in range or by matching the vibrational field you wish to attract is everything. Everything if you'd like to receive all the messages from the Holy Spirit, because the Holy Spirit is messaging you now about the nowness. So if we ever are talking about something of our past, where's the now message going? Out to sea, you know? And now we come and we think we're in port, you know? So let's keep ourselves always in tune, always in tune. So I declare is a way of now activating everything and declaring to that mountain to move. Basically, it's telling which mountain you would like where in your life. And affirmation is getting your vibration flowing, getting you in range.
And also the more you repeat it, the more you step into the belief, because we know we have to believe what we declare to a certain point. We know that word trumps everything. However, it comes faster and you are in range once you believe. Mm-hmm. And with repeating, the mind starts to believing. You're trampling a neural pathway in a way of that you know this is now my truth.
Yeah, and like Joe Dispenza's, that's what he talks about, exactly. Cutting that new path.
And that is why we really encourage everyone to journal daily. Give me a show of hands, who journals daily?
And when we're talking about journaling, we're talking about asking God daily for more stuff.
So we made up this daily asking journal that has all the boxes we believe that we have to check in a day, and it takes 5 to 10 minutes each day. And it starts with gratitude. So I offer all of you, I will send you a sample page of that you can fill it in, and you can do it in one of your calls together. We have like plenty of calls online, like on YouTube. We have like all our Miracle Group meetings.
And all the workbooks are on Amazon. You can order them on Amazon.
And on our shop. Yeah. So I can send you the link to our shop. that you can see all these
Right.
and there are sample pages. So give me your email addresses, and I happily send you samples of those and how to fill it in.
Right. And how that came about.
Okay.
Go ahead. Yeah. So how it came about is Sylvie was watching me mastermind for years. I have the same mastermind partner for 25 years. And people always come to me, you achieved everything, Carissa. How did you do it? I said, well, it's really simple. We're the same people. We've known each other for years and years, just like Sylvie and I for many years. The difference is I ask daily.
So can you share with that? Because that was a huge, like our birthright in the sense of asking and what it's all about, being living and being able to receive all that. Because I believe that that's a block that a lot of people sometimes have a hard time. They want to, Sylvie was talking about this before you jumped on, Carissa, she was talking about like the ability to give, like we love to give, but that whole concept of receiving and why it's our birthright. I thought that was a beautiful conversation we had when we were in Florida.
And so if you notice on the book, Ask and You Shall Receive, we purposely put that word receive bigger, and the first word is ask. So the Bible so joyfully tells us the secret to this universe. It says, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you shall find. Knock and the door shall be open. And then I love the next Bible verse. For everyone who asks receives. Let's just take God for his word for 1 minute. For everyone who does one thing, one verb, asks, and then they get something called receive. So if you are yet to receive in any department of your life, okay, so we go back for fun, right, Jean? When you were little, how much asking were you doing professionally? Right?
I realized that like a few years ago that I was active in church, but we were taught to, most of the prayer are like prayer of supplication, begging and crying.
That's right.
And I'm like, if we believe that God answers our prayer, why do we have to beg?
That's right. Exactly. So it took you 40 years to get there or whatever, right?
Yes.
You know? So this is the crazy thing. One aha moment is, wait a second. We're the child of the Most High God. God came from the line of Solomon, the richest human. He's a Rockefeller, the richest human on earth. At birth, he was given a box of gold bars, a chest of gold from the 3 wise men. He had a trust fund that was, and myrrh and frankincense. He was the richest man around. So why did we allow ourselves to get bamboozled by religion and pretend that he had a struggling life? And to be like him, we should sinner, sinner, suffer, suffer, crawl on your knees, beg, whatever words you want to use, right? It was an illusion that we each bought into. And that's why we went down that path, right? So you were more holy the poorer you were, quote unquote, right? And so you were exactly right. You were on the same path. You just were following it in a different direction. Now you're understanding that your will as a child of the Most High God is to claim your birthright as a Rockefeller, as a child of David and Solomon, as a child of of Esther, who had half the kingdom, and Abraham, who had 1,200 maidservants in his own house and 300 military servants. Can you imagine what we came from? And the Bible gives us 3,000 and more promises that God has promised us. And if you voice activate and call on those promises, they're yours. It just says, if the faith of a mustard seed, call onto the mountain and saith to move, and it will. So whatever illusionary mountains that we are creating in our own and allowing in our own space, we can call them to move. We can call on them to move anytime. It's called asking, seeking, and knocking. And everyone who asks will receive. So this is the craziest thing. This very moment, I hope we're all ready to just like sit on the park bench and cry after this call, right? Because it's our own mouth that did it to us, whatever was done. So please laugh. Please laugh. And maybe for the first time you say, okay, if my mouth got me into it, my mouth can get me all the way to glory. Wow. With one awareness, it's just, right? We know it's a split second.
So now you understand quantum physics. It's just everything exists in a probability. It's already there. It can be anything you wish to be. And it's your focus, it's your thought, and then the voice activation that creates it with your word, that put this thing into being. And this is your birthright. You can play, that's why we talked about variety. You can play your game and in your own sandbox however you like. And God looks at you and it's like, oh, I did a fine job. I mean, he's happy in the sandbox, whatever sandbox that is. If you wish a bigger sandbox, if you wish to have more sand, you have to ask for it.
Can you?
Continually.
Awesome. One of the things that really grabbed my attention when we first met, Chris, is when we were sharing about the power of the word and how special that is on earth compared to the rest of the universe, and how just the vibration of the word and the connection between the spoken word and God and manifestation.
All right. So God, we are the only creatures that speak words. Think of birds and dogs. Think of aliens and whatever you'd like to think of. God gave us his creation power. We are in his image, his imagining. He imagined us to continue Jesus's work, to continue the prophet's work by absolutely going forth and using our words to call in the promises of God, over 3,000, that are already here, all set up, and they're voice activated. And you ask, seek, and knock, and they're all yours. And you can even move mountains. And with a little faith the size of a mustard seed, that you actually can use your words, and that you can learn how to read and write, and many languages or one language. And God speaks all languages, and he can give you exactly you're asking. So this is the craziest part. Are we willing, Patrick, to close your mouth like you did, change your words, or correct them 3 times if that's what it takes? What I really mean is, how old do we need to be? How messed up or glorious do we need to be to finally say it's time for me to check every word that comes out of my mouth? To check every single word. And then when you're blessing things, that we're actually taking time to write it down, edit it, and then read that statement over your children, over your house, over your wife, over your husband. Are we really taking time? You buy a birthday card, right? What if there's a negative saying on it? Are you taking time to cross that word out and put a happier one in? I am. I go through everything. In fact, I'm willing to say, like, my mother got a card with a Bible verse on it, and it had all this good stuff. And then there's the inside of the card had all this negative stuff. And she said, oh, thank you, I'll pass on that card. It was to her husband. She gave it back to him. And she said, I'll rip off the first page. That sounds good. The second one, throw it away. I'm only calling in glory. So we have the right to edit and to change and to glorify ourselves through God. Or we can crawl on our knees and think that begging is going to do anything. We're the children of the Rockefeller. Are we acting like it? Are we calling it forth? Are we using the wealth? Are we spreading it around? Are we laughing and in joy? Are we satisfied with everything, ready for more? Are we understanding that the universe is waiting for you to be completely satisfied so it can give you more? If you've yet to go around 100 times a day telling you how satisfied you are with your table and your chair and your condo and your house and your lights, the universe says, I'm not quite sure. Are they ready for more? Are they ready? I haven't heard them being satisfied with what they got. So
for those who have, more will be given.
That's right. And for those who believe that they don't have, everything shall be taken away. The Bible tells us this.
Can you repeat that?
Yeah. Go ahead, you start.
For those that have, what was it?
Yeah, for those who have
more
will be given.
More will be given. And for those who have not, everything will be taken away. Now, this is showed in the story of the talent. When God had, he used it as a merchant, and he had some servants, and these servants, he gave them 1 10 talents, 1 5 talents, and 1 talent. And the one with 10 invested it with the lenders, money lenders, and received 10 more talents. And the one with 5 invested it with the money lenders. Kind of sounds interesting, right? With their investments. and came back and got 5 more. And the one that had 1 buried it and said, oh, I heard you were a wicked and slothful man, so I buried this and I came with 0. And so he brings back and gives him the 1 talent. And he said, oh, you wicked servant, you did nothing with the talent I gave you. Go out and invest it. Try, throw it out there, put it out there, we say, right? Do it with joy. Get yourself in a vibrational field. So this is what's so great is we can do this. We can actually get out there and learn how to plant our seeds and sow the crop of everything that God already pre-promised us. It was promises in the Bible. You have to understand, when God speaks his word, it is forevermore. It's sitting there waiting for you to activate it. Though if we're doing, like you said, Patrick, any word coming out of your mouth, how can the universe match that? It's Babble-on, right?
It's time to step into our promised land.
Yeah. So we have to step out of Babble-on into our promised land and receive the true wealth of God, to receive the Holy Spirit that is giving us the way all the time, and then living in an awareness of everything being activated and given. And so I'll share a story, and then we can ask for a few questions. This was I was walking my dogs just before I walked in here, and I saw a big eagle's feather, and I picked it up with a big smile on my face because I remember a promise that God had given me. Of course, in the Bible, we know he'll take us on the back of the eagle wings. I was at a little meeting, and it was American Indian and Apache Indian, and he was a medicine man, and he was here in Naples, and he was giving a 3-day talk on how the healers heal with the drums and with the feathers and with all the different rabbit's feet and stuff. And so I thought, well, I'm a healer too, so that's interesting. And so I said, okay, God, what am I doing here? My family was out to dinner or something, so I had the time, and a girlfriend was going, so I jumped in the car. And then he said, okay, if your birthday is October 24th, you get the next 3 days for free. Well, my birthday is October 24th. I go, okay, God, you're really speaking to me here, right? I'm the only one in the room, right? There's probably 50 people, and so now it's for free. And my family, I had already sent them forward after they went out to dinner. They were going on a weekend vacation. So I have this weekend. And as we're in this weekend, this Apache Indian said, what I really wish for my whole life, my biggest asking was that I would have real bald eagle wings. So when I flap them over my people I'm healing, they can feel the air of the eagle wing. And I thought, oh, what a big asking. That's lovely, right? So I saw this eagle feather this morning. That's what it brought to me. And so I leave the class and I go home, and I check on an older lady that likes me to come by, and she's very eccentric, and I go in her house, and for the first time I'm noticing wings, and she has 2 little owl wings mounted on her kitchen wall. I've been in her house many times, first time I ever noticed, but now, see, I'm aware. And I look at that, I said, Mer, do you have any more wings? She said, and she has gray hair. And I said, what's your interest in what? I have another pair. She goes in the other room. She brings this huge board, mounted bald eagle wings. And she said, I tried to give them to the Boy Scouts, but they can only go to an American Indian because they're native and they have a rights to this. Now remember, who asked for them? The native Indian. A few hours before. The next morning I come to class, right? I said, Mer, can I have these? You were going to give them to the Boy Scouts. I said, how did you get them? I said, are you an Indian? She says, I can't remember. Just an old lady, right? So I take these huge, full eagle wings, and now we take them off the board and we use them in class, and I gift them to him. And so today, and when I handed it to him, 1 feather fell out of the wing, and as it fell out of the wing, it fell in my car and caught in my side door, the pocket there. And he said, here, this is the American Indian custom. If something leaves to stay with you, it's yours forever. And so I use that many times in my healing, and a big smile. So today, when I was gifted with an eagle feather, a huge one that was right there, it's for that I could tell this story to you, that everything's possible, right? Just with an asking. Here's an Indian that comes to Naples, Florida, and in the class, and I said yes to God. I just showed up, and then I said yes to the weekend. I showed up, and then he said, "Wouldn't it be great to have eagle wings?" I go, "Yes, it would be great. I don't even know anything about wings, but it sounds great." And in my agreement of joy and yes, he got those wings within 24 hours. Less 12 hours, those wings were in his hands forever. He still has them. Years ago. So we all have our eagle wings ready for us. They're ready for us with our asking. Simple asking.
And have a second energy.
Yes. And always have a second one excited for you.
Sometimes it takes a professional asker. So this is what Carissa does. She and we are the second energy. So if you wish to have a second energy, that is how we finance our books.
Yes. So basically we charge $100 an hour if anybody's ever interested in doing a big asking. I do miracles for a living, done it for 30 years. A lot of blind eye seeing kind of stuff, a lot of healing. That's my real passion is health. And though asking is what I realized in all these years of using ultrasound and helping people in light therapy and eagle wings and all, it's like, it's really your words. You come over here and I speak over you. And because I've trained myself, I can speak good words over you and only good words over you and keep you in the moment. And then you're healed. The idea is my real joy with Sylvie is to show people you can do it for yourself, right? It's all available to everyone. And it's such a joy. And I paid a lot of money for the training that I got. And my joy was to just share it with people because I can. And God has blessed me through all my sharing over the years, tremendously blessed in every department of my life. And with my children, for them to understand this, what a joy that they can call in their greatness with words. They can lay in bed and have everything with words, or they can get up and do as much as they want and still use their words. And that they understand that the word holds all the power. And we do joyous things with each other. And I totally say the reason we ask every day is in your household, you want everybody's list posted on the wall. Okay, so I ask you for a favor, Russ, is that you have each child create 100 things, a list, immediately, by dinner, tonight, done. And you post them on the wall. That would be 800 askings to God. Remember, you have 3,000, so keep going. So that in one household, right? And then if you and your wife do it, that should be 1,000 askings. And you can ask for other people. You can ask for the nations to be blessed. You can ask for apple trees for the neighbors. Everything good is of God, remember. So in your one household, you can produce 1,000 requests to God tonight by dinner. Wouldn't that be cool? You can help your young ones, right?
I think
that's amazing, right?
I think as people, we've been conditioned not to ask. We've been conditioned just getting in the awareness of being okay asking through the power of your word is truly phenomenal in realizing. So you'll set like one goal or that goal. And so what if you were to ask 100 things and just consistently keep asking and asking and asking?
Knocking.
Keep knocking.
So the first time when I heard this concept, I was really excited because I'm also a scientist, psychology. We do like a lot of charts and a lot of numbers. So I was like, oh, I increase my significance, like that something comes. The chance, the more I ask. So if I have a 50-50 probability in the beginning, if I asked yes or no, if it's less than serving me, God may say no and gives me something better or something else. So if I ask one thing, 50-50, yes or no, having it. If I ask two things, my probability goes up. If I ask 1,000 things by tonight, the probability for 500, yes.
Yeah. So next week, Russ will be leading.
800, yeah.
The front door will have Amazon boxes this high.
The more you ask, the more you receive.
And the more you're in relationship with your word.
Yes. That's the real thing. Go ahead,
Carol.
Carol, please.
Yes, a couple questions. When you said you have 3,000 asks, what exactly does that mean?
Okay, asking is just making your list and making God known your heart. So if I would like a new third floor on my beach house, I write down new third floor on my beach house. If I would like an office in my North Carolina house, I write an office in my North Carolina house. If I would like a real estate investment that's going to do great, a wonderful $1 million producing real estate investment. If I was a child, let's pretend we're Russ, and I would like a real live horse. They can write real live horse. If they would like a real live dog, they can write real live dog. Now we know, and Russ is laughing, if they say dog, he's going to buy him a stuffed animal, right? We know that. So one of my daughters once asked, she woke up in the morning, she said, Mom, last night I asked for $100,000. She was little. I'm like, okay, $100,000 bill. In the morning, my girlfriend comes down and there's a chocolate bar that she laid on her pillow. She came from the other end of the house. The $100,000 bar, we've heard of those, right? Now, one daughter came from this end of the house talking to me, the other girlfriend from that end of the house, and at the same time, $100,000. And my daughter says, next time I'm asking for the real thing.
Now, do you say it like you already have it?
Yes.
Like
I now declare that I have or am ... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. And you do, and everybody on this call, by the time we meet again, is 100 askings. Whip them down the page and post it on your wall or your screen or your mirror.
The homework is to catch yourself saying anything that is less desirable, cancel it and replace it, correct it with something great.
Or duct tape your mouth shut. Mm-hmm.
One of the things I know that Mary Morrissey says is to say it, like declare it as if you have it already. And then she'll say, and this or something better.
Okay,
because
so we like to add this or my divine right by birth. So God has a better everything for us, or the best everything. So if you'd like to ask for your divine birthright, this or the better that is my divine birthright, add the birthright in there, because we were given 3,000 promises. And those promises are renewable. So once one comes true, it's renewable into the other. I use the number 100 because we have to get this human mind around doing something tonight at the dinner.
But that's what I was going to ask you about, the 3,000. So say you get 3,000, then you get another 3,000?
Yes. You just keep going.
So the truth is, Carol, we fill in a day of this every day, and one box is our new askings, because we only have to ask once for God. If we repeat an asking, it's for our belief system. So we fill in every day. So we are professional askers that keep on going. We have books, so 4 books in a year of this. And
journals, that we fill in.
And then we go back at New Year's and look at them, and we can cross off, at our professional rate of believing, it's 95%. We cross off, it's done.
It's already done. Yeah.
And then we take 5% to the next year. So it's keep on going.
And remember, there's that perpetual
And this is also why
growth.
we have the group. So we meet every 2 weeks in the evening, 7 p.m. At someone's house here in Naples, and we have that on Zoom, and we record all the meetings. We have the meetings on YouTube, because once you come together in a group like you guys do, you inspire each other. So when we start asking in a group, if someone wants a white car, 2 other people want a white car, and then we have a party and 3 new white cars drive up, because we
in 3 days.
In 3 days. So because it's inspired. So once
everybody's invited on this call to join that group.
Yes, everybody's invited. Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
And you can
No, when you said, just a quick question, you said you only ask once, but then you talked about affirmations. So what are the because you repeat affirmations, right, to get it into your system. So what do you repeat in the affirmation? The same asking or something different?
Affirmation is for your vibration to make it. So if you have what is one of your affirmations you love? Anyone?
Oh, I can't think of one right at the top of my head.
Carol's a genius. I love Carol. Carol's a genius. Everything comes to Carol every day, more and more, greater and greater. Glory to God, and I'm just the genius. Thank you for my geniusness, and thank you for my great point of attraction, God. And so whatever you shorten that into, Carol's a genius. And you can say that and dance it or sweep it or vacuum to it or whatever it is, yes, because you're anchoring it into every cell of your body. I am worthy. I am worthy. I am worthy of God's greatness. I am worthy, right? You can do whatever it is. The exact thing the universe is delivering. You are in charge of getting your vibration up and keeping it there. A smile, get that smile going.
So the affirmation is not the asking. The affirmation is more an energy.
An energy
Or
thing.
You can do it though. I mean, you can put like your goals on your mirror and read them out.
I love my new car. I love my car. It
Yes,
serves me
thank
well.
you that I
love
have
it.
my new
You can
car.
say it.
Thank you that I go to the house all day long, and if I have like I have a porch swing in the back. If you see that, that was my asking for a long time, and I was like just visualizing it already on my porch, and I was like, oh, thank you Lord that I have a porch swing. I will love sitting on my porch swing, and my porch swing has to be blue, and so. And then every time I walk by my lanai, it's like, oh, I'm so grateful that you are painted, and I have beautiful flowers, and I have this porch swing. And now when you see, and if I would like bring you out there, there's flowers, it's beautifully painted because it came to be.
Right. So one of the things that it just sparked, and this is why in 1 hour we've got so much to cover, though. I will answer that question. You stay in your vibrational field. The second thing is, each line of that 100 list, Russell, play in the vibration. So at dinner, I would like each kid to talk about one of their list, one thing. Is it blue? Is it purple?
And
is
why?
it September? Is it August? Do you want it with wheels? Do you want it with a battery? Would you like it, for your birthday or for Christmas? Would you like it in this state or another state?
And
Would you like it in this lifetime or another lifetime?
Excited to have that. So ask always the why, because the why gets our emotions so up and into the vibration that we are really excited about it. So really dig into, and why is that, and why is that?
So one thing that Sylvie and I do at a call like this is every time somebody would share their asking, we would raise our hands up and say, thank you, God, that you've already delivered it. Thank you that it's here now. So at dinner for fun, Russell, have everybody throw their hands up in the air after the person spends 30 seconds talking about their line, one thing. Oh, it's going to be brown. It's going to be pink. Oh, it's got 4 legs or 18 legs, whatever it is, right? Let them talk about it, play in it. Oh, what's it smell like? What does it taste like? Oh, where are you going to get that pizza? Where, oh, we'd like to go get a pizza. That my daughter once for Christmas wanted pizza from her favorite pizza. Oh, what are the toppings on it? 30-second conversation. So they're visualizing it, imaging it. Image, imagine,
And just
imagine.
thing, imagine for 67 seconds and more. Because this is when it gets into the ether.
Yes.
And we are generators, and this is everything we talk about is scientifically proven. So this all starts.
We're the generator. So you have to play in it for a little bit.
Over a minute.
Dance in it. So
yes. Play a minute in it.
Okay. So let's take the porch swing, right? Sylvia originally imaged it in brown, but then she went online, and that's part of playing with it, right? She started looking at pictures of porch swings, and then she saw a blue one. And then she said, you know what? That's really catching my eye. So now I'm going to think of the blue porch swing, and where am I going to put it out there? And she's going to walk out there, and she's going to pace it out 5 feet, whatever. So play in it. When you play in your image, it becomes real. The universe has zero idea if it's there in your house or not.
And we can declare the price we are willing to pay, and what, like all these kind of, we can even say for free, and there's so many details to it. And there's
Right.
Here, like what we are like now talking about is only the tip of the iceberg of all the teachings we have. That's why we have like 3+ books. Exactly.
Yes.
That's one of the things.
So we'll add to the word think and grow rich, speak
and be
grow
rich.
rich. Yeah, be rich.
Be rich.
You see how we have to edit that?
Yeah.
Think and be rich, because would you rather grow or would you rather be? You
Yeah.
see, you've
Yeah.
got to understand the universe looks at every word. So it's speak and be rich. That's what I did anyways, and it worked.
I want to share my story with, I don't think I share the story with my group that I shared with you guys with my client. I don't remember that story. So this is where getting in this technology, learning how to speak my words. So a lot of you guys know one of my clients I work with, he does real estate, and he does like land deals. And so they have like opportunities in Port St. Lucie. It's a really busy market, and a lot of opportunities are growing and growing and growing. So my client, Allison, found out that they originally put the closing date for the land, and they moved it up with the seller, and they put it in contract, and everything was fine. And so Then she found out that the company that was going to buy the land from them was not able to close on the day that they agreed upon. So she reached out to the original seller and said, can we move the date 3 days ahead? Because it's a big company and we need to do an assessment of the land and everything else. So the broker came back and said, no, we already have another offer on the table for $10,000 more. We have to stick to that closing date. Straight up to Allison. And this was a big opportunity for Allison. Allison lives in Columbia, so she would have made commission-wise $3,600, which is a lot. It was like $36,000 for Freddie's client. And so literally she tries Friday, cannot hear from the lady. Lady's not responding back from her. Lady's talking to her, and there's nothing's going on. And so Monday morning or Tuesday morning, nothing on Monday, and then Tuesday morning I hear about it on my coaching session, and it's scheduled to close on Wednesday. So she says, Patrick, I have a big issue right now. I've got this opportunity. She tells me the story that it needs to close on tomorrow, Wednesday, and I haven't heard back from the lady at all. I've tried Friday, I've tried Monday, nothing, hasn't got back with me at all. And I literally just said, hey, let's use Carissa and Sylvie's technologies or how we speak. Let's just do this right now. And I literally just never did this like in front of everybody else. And I go, all right, we're just going to pray as a group right now. We now declare that by the time we get done with training, that she's going to get back with you and let you know we're going to move forward. She's going to come back in this field with us, and this is going to happen. And this opportunity is going to close on time. On time. Here we go. And I just declared all positivity and went on with my training. And then we went on our normal training. So about 10 minutes before training was over, Allison gets a email from the lady that she had not heard from Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. It says, I am praying that I can get this closed on time. I've got your email. And this other lady has never used the word praying at all. I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. So the next day, Wednesday, I don't have training with them on Wednesdays. I have them on Thursdays. I get a messenger from Allison from Columbia, and she's like, oh my God, Patrick, you're not going to believe this. That opportunity closed on time, and the deal went through as scheduled. And she's like, everything went done. They moved things around. They got everything moved around, and my client got the land, and I ended up getting the commission. And I was literally like, and she's like, this is amazing stuff. And I was literally like, yeah, that was pretty amazing for me, because I was like, whoa, this is like unbelievable. And so that was my
change
this is a big company.
This is believable.
Yeah, this is believable.
This is believable. You see how I caught him there, guys? This is believable. We are the believers, right?
Uh-huh.
So that word unbelievable, please cross it off your mouth forever.
Yeah,
we're believers. We call ourselves believers. So only use the word believable.
Absolutely.
I am believing. So you see how you got to edit yourselves. And I love it. I mean, Patrick and I know each other enough that free training is good. So I want to point something out. When the girl was shaking a little in her boots, she had to pay, and it's good that I say had to, because she really did at that moment, have to pay some outside party that could hold the faith in the declaration.
Right.
That's why people come to Sylvia and I, and 30 years I've been doing this, people come to me, Carissa, I would like to have a grandchild. And, blah, 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 everybody says this, doctors, da, da, da. And so I said, then, you know what? Let's have it. Let's just declare it. Let's have it. And who cares what anybody says, right? Because there's only us and God. And I'm going to activate it now. That's what you did, Patrick. You activated the Holy Spirit. You received the delivery, and you could believe it in that room. You were the one who could believe it. And we're willing to just go for it. Say yes to God. You just said, yes, God. Yes, yes. See, when you say yes to God, he shows up because he's already said yes to you.
Mm.
Mm-hmm. The only one who has ever stopped anything in our lives is ourselves. The glory is all here. The glory was given upon the cross. That was why the blood went. And in the perfection, we got the Holy Spirit, and with it, we got all the commands already given. The promises of God have been left here for us, and we are here to activate them with our declaration. And if we have the balls to do it, and I'll use that, really the guts to do it, if we have the will to do it, if we can raise our hands up and do the commanding, then you're with God. Anything else is less than a child of the great creator of all that is. So you have to choose, are you willing to stand? And when you're willing to stand, there's zero time for your old stories.
Wonderful. So I'd like just to get some feedback and honor you guys' time. And I want to just schedule an hour with you two to do an asking coaching session, I guess. So you got me signed in. We'll figure out a time and everything like that. But I just wanted to get some feedback from Jean and Russell and Carol and Raza, and on everybody's time.
And
Insights, takeaways, lesson learns, and go from there.
Yes.
How about with you, Jean?
I trust that everybody got something great and had some joy today.
Oh yeah, this is like really, really great, like training. It's the best of all the training I've had.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been working with the law of
Give him the
attraction,
glory. Give him the glory.
and I'm like, how do I do it? Why is it working for others? And I'm still waiting.
oh.
Yeah. Now you know. There's only now, and we now declare over you that every asking you have on that list of 100 that you can renew at any moment is already here for you. And we call it forth into this plane right now in the Holy Spirit and God's holy name that it is. And we call you, God, on your commands. We take you for your word, God, in this very moment over these people on this call, over our nation. We absolutely, in all our nations, we pray and then we call in your commands. And we will always continue to ask. That's the one thing he knows from us, that we make as a pact. We all put our hand in the middle. We will keep asking.
Thank you.
Yes.
How about with you, my brother, Russell?
That was great. Thank you so much. That was amazing. You know, I look at the biggest takeaway for me is not dwell on the past, but
Change your words, change your word, dwell only on.
So
I will
and to focus on my and to have better words come out of my mouth that will call forth and the birthright that we all have been given. So
God bless you. That is exactly, and you'll teach your kids.
Yes. And teach my kids so we can be a force for good.
Yes. And that's it. 1,000 askings tonight. I'm loving it.
Thank you guys so much for your time.
Oh, a pleasure.
Carol, how about you come down from Sarasota and meet them sometime for lunch? How's that? How that's an asking, huh?
That would be awesome. I declare I would love to meet you guys for lunch.
Sure. Wonderful, Carol. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Come up towards Fort Myers to make it a half hour easier for you, and love to share. And bring your lists, bring your journal books, anything you've written, so we can edit together, and just so you can flow with it and you can get the most out of it. So do bring all your askings, and do bring your journals so that we can show, so you can see where you could even get more direct.
Mm-hmm. Wonderful. That would be wonderful. And I thought this was fantastic. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It pulled in so many things that I learned, you know, like you said, up to a point, right? And one of the things reminded me of Deepak Chopra's Synchro Destiny course, when you talked about the angel wings, because you talked about those kinds of things where you ask for something and you open yourself up for it, and the next thing you know, it just appears. And to be aware of different synchronicities in your life.
Yes, total awareness, because they're here. It's sitting here. It's for us to just take that breath in that moment to receive it.
So one thing, I'm sorry, Carol, go ahead.
I do have one more question. Sure. I'm working with a group of ladies and we're writing a book, and we're talking about belonging, but in our book, we're going through our journey. So you talk about not going into your past, but one of the things is going into the past to talk about how we found our way out of that and into belonging.
Okay,
so
I give you a challenge, a beautiful, fun, exciting challenge is, could you take this much of your past and this much of the future and present? Okay, so the idea is we can say it in 2 sentences. We came from something that was less than, And now we decided to be more satisfied. And so here we are, and this is what we're doing about it. Come with us. If you have the guts to do that, because that's the Holy Spirit.
Just one thing to bring to your awareness. If you write a book and you tell everything from your old story,
you're going to have it again.
You create it over and over.
If you'd like to live it all.
Every time a reader reads it, it's recreated. If you wish that to happen,
to
go
you?
ahead and do it. If you wish to have a better future, leave it out.
Yeah. So remember,
Yeah.
you're giving somebody else the opportunity to go down and step in your hole with you.
Yes.
And that was opposite than what God wanted with the Good Samaritan story. Remember,
1,000
He wanted
people.
to load it on the donkey, left at the inn, and you'll just pay when you come back around.
If you have 1,000 readers, you have 1,000 witnesses.
Mhm.
Okay,
So-
so it'd be interesting to try and show how I've grown out of it without telling about it. So that's where I'm a little stuck.
There's always words you can use that are better.
Uh-huh. And this is a false illusion that we gain rapport by going into the negative. We've had 3 people just speak now, and I know Patrick is probably in agreement with this. You all have zero idea of my past, right? Zero. And we had a beautiful hour, and we're all inspired. So did you need a sad story to get here? Or could we
No.
just go for it and be here now? So I challenge you in our heart of hearts, and the Holy Spirit challenges you to just be there now and be here. We got here, right?
Honestly, people need mentors like you that are already conquered everything and now are in the faith and in the courage and in the confidence.
Uh-huh. And if
Of
you
the
tell
being.
them your sad story, then you're setting them up to tell you their sad story. And now you prompted them to dig their own hole again and fall in it. So it's your choice. It's just, I'll tell you what the Holy Spirit says. You got now. Get out, load on your donkey, go around again. Pay for it and move on.
Very good, thank you.
Uh-huh. My pleasure.
And you know what's interesting is mine is the last chapter. So wouldn't that be interesting that I don't go into the past and just bring out all the
joy.
all the joy?
All the joy, all the goodness. We all come from somewhere. You can say that. We've all come from somewhere, and the joy is that we improve and we have a clear vision about what is now and where we're going.
And also, Carol, since we wrote so many books and all positive words, so all our books are just positive words, we have a lot of editing experience. So if you require a good editor into positivity, that your chapter is even more powerful, that's also a service we offer.
Because remember, the quantum world can only speak a positive tongue. That was the joy of God. So if you can talk to the universe with positive words, and then you put it out to the world. So if you ever read Ask and You Shall Receive or Connect to the Light, you'll be blessed because every word in there is positive.
And it's so
Thank you.
interesting.
Mhm.
Only people with a matching vibration can even touch it and like go into it and receive more and more the more we are aware of it, because it's like the Bible, it has so many layers of inspiration, and it's only God inspired.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Wonderful, thank you.
Raza, how about you, sir? What was your experience?
I think some. Hi guys. Sorry I was late
Oh,
because
Raza didn't get a chance to meet you guys.
Yeah. So a pleasure. Thank you for joining us, Raza.
no problem at all. Sorry, I have a boss nowadays because I'm on a full-time job as well, as I said to you, team. So I overrun that meeting. But what you
And
described.
he's in London,
is,
by the way.
Welcome. Yay.
Nice to meet you. So what you described, Carissa, just now is the positivity. I mean, 2019, just to give you an example, I mean, including this group, I've known this group for almost a year, but they don't know my background story, my negativity, where I came from and what I've been. I don't know how many of you guys know, then I was involved in the death experiences. I was involved in almost no money and all sorts of things, but nobody knows this. So all they know that I'm just a bubbly guy, just taking everything on the chin and then move forward. And there was a book by Shad Helmster. I don't know if you read that.
That's who you really are, Raza.
Yeah.
That's who you really are. You're a bubbly guy that takes it and moves forward and has a will to go on. That's
I'm a bubbly guy.
So there is a book by Shed Helmster, What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. I don't know if you guys read it. That is a
I've
phenomenal
yet,
book.
we'll look into it for sure. What to say when you talk to yourself. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where when I was reading that about 16 years ago, I realized that the words was coming out of my mouth is not the right word. And I've seen that that practice with my wife is like, I'm ill. So she's really ill at the moment. And I'm trying to help her to improve that wording because the words because the God give us, well, for us is Allah give us 1 mouth, 2 ears for a reason.
That's right.
So we talk less and listen more, right?
Yes.
But we don't do that. As a human being, we tend to talk more. And it's all, just like Pat said, all the sailor tongues came out at times and causes all sorts of problems. So,
yeah.
But the reason I'm telling you about 2019 is that was my worst year. Now, I didn't want to say that worst year, but guess what? It was one of my best year ever. And I could not have imagined that.
Right.
Right. And in 2019, I met with this team. And we grew in relationship and friendship, even though, Russ and Pat are, brothers from the different mother, and so is Carol and Jean. Yeah. They're sisters so they're my extended family in the coaching call. So we push and pull each other. So that's what you would just solidify that. Say again?
We all have the same Father, the oneness of God.
Yeah. But I mean, I know it's a slightly different beliefs, but yeah. I understand where you're coming from.
Yeah. Although it's really the same belief, I'll challenge you on that. Even if you say such a thing,
there is a few things difference, Carissa. There is a few things difference.
Only if you believe that. I believe that.
No, there is a differences, but yeah, let's not talk about that.
Right. There's oneness. So we have to get over that word. We have to get over that. We have to say that we're humanity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Humanity completely, that we were made by a creator. And you can call that creator by even in each book, your book, our books, it's the creator's called many names. Emmanuel, the Prince of Peace, Allah, you can call it many things, but there's a creator and there's prophets. And we are here given and as oneness. We're brothers, you just said it, and sisters. That's all we are. That's all we are. And we have to leave it as oneness. If we
about that story we were talking about with Genesis and the whole story of the consciousness and the word and imagination, and that was powerful. That little conversation, that amazing conversation we had, was a game changer for me.
Right. Okay, so I'll share that just for a second, if you will, Raza. This is what the truth is. That we know that there was only one humanity, and we know that you understand Abraham, and right? And out of Abraham, there were 2 seeds, and those 2 seeds that were brothers. The first being, came from 2 mothers, like you were just saying. They came from 2 mothers.
They were like Isaac and Ishmael.
And this is what Ishmael, right? You got it. And Isaac, and like Sylvie said, there's one Father. We have to go back to that one Father, and we have to here as this group believe that there's one Father. That's it. We are all of the same seed. So in the Tower of Babel, right, in Babble-on, it was very interesting. It says right in the beginning of the Bible, and the Quran, you can see this. It was one Father. And and that's why we share the Temple Mount as it is, right? Still to this day. We've got the mosque up there, and we've got the Wailing Wall there, and there's the Christian quarters, and it's all there on the same rock, darn it all. It's still one. And we can pretend it's different, though it is one. So, and in Babylon, this was the great thing about Babylon. The people, the one Father, the one people, they knew that the power came because they were one. It says it right there in the Bible, Genesis 11, if anybody wants to read it. It talks about the oneness, that we were one. And the people knew that they were given all the power. They said we had one speech and we had one language. Now, get this. They used 2 words. We had one speech and we had one language. And with it, we had the power of God. It's written. Please go back to Genesis and read it. Genesis 1 through 11, read it. In Genesis 11, 1 through 11, keep reading. And it says, and we as the people knew that if we were ever scattered, we would lose the power. Okay? And that is why I'm challenging you, my brother, from the same Father. So we have one Father, we had one speech, we had one language, and if we were ever scattered, we would lose our power. And God came down and watched them, and they were trying to do something, build up high and separate a little bit, you know, like stay together only for the reason for power and try to be separate with you. We've got different gods or whatever. And the thing is, God said, wow, I gave them all one speech. I gave them one language, and with it, they had all power. And so now, because they want to say that they have different mothers and fathers, I'm going to now say that, and they're trying to build up, I'm going to scatter them around the earth, and I'm going to scatter their language and their speech. Now, this is different than Italian and German and English. This is that they're going to let creep in slang. Okay? Fork tongue.
The negativity.
The sky's the limit. No problem. Please change that word. Patrick, you're on your brother.
Oh, yeah.
The first thing that came out of his mouth was no problem in this speech. Okay, only goodness. There's only goodness. There is absolute goodness. That's what your Quran talks about. That's what the Bible talks about. That's what Buddha talks about. That's what all these teachers talk about, whether you're Marianne Williamson or you're Deepak Chopra or whatever, Indian religions, Hindu. Okay, so this goodness from one Father, when we can return to that, we've got all the power back, because the power still is in the speech. In the beginning was the Word. One thing, Word. And the Word was with God, and the Word held the creation power of God, and it still does to this day. Heaven and earth shall pass away, yet my word shall last. Is there goosebumps on everybody? Forever. That's huge. Only one thing holds all the power. Heaven and earth shall pass away, yet my word shall last forever. How important are words, guys, in this hour? I mean, I gave my time here because the Holy Spirit said, help these people.
Mhm.
They've studied everybody, and now let them study the truth. So I share this. We are one. We have one Father. We are all of one seed. And the day we get back to that and we leave every other word that has a versus or a separation to the trash can and take it to the curb, we'll still have separation. So I respect that you come from the same Father I do. And you know, when Abraham died, you know this, both sons were there, right?
Mhm.
Your religion and every other religion was there. Both sons were there. That means they were honoring the Father their whole lives and his whole life. It had no different where the seed went. You go to London, you go to Sarasota, you go to the Philippines, you go to Arizona, you go to Colorado, we go to Naples, Florida. It doesn't matter where the seed goes. It's one Father. Let's get over any word that says anything but that. It's a pact. Put your hand in the middle. There's one Father, and we are all one. And we come together as one. From this moment on, we are just one. There is only one. And that's why I can, with all my heart and all my life, love you, because you're me. And that's why I'm on this call for each of you. I'm you, I'm you, I'm you, I'm you, I'm Patrick, I'm Sylvie. We are one. We're humanity. That's it. There's only oneness. And when we stand like that, then we make a declaration statement. And Jesus, when we say Jesus, the power of the word, let's call it what it is, tetragrammaton, if that sounds better for you guys. All power, tetragrammaton. That's what God is called in some areas of the world, tetragrammaton, the power of it all. In Egypt, when they carried that out in the top of the pyramids, there's that ark was up there, and tetragrammaton lived there. They carried it out in Moses, Abraham, right? You know, they carried it out when Moses came in a box, the generator, and now we're the generator. It came into each of us, and we have the power within each of us, and our word can be activated. It's so miracle. So please, we come from one Father. You're my brother, and please share only that, because that's the truth. And I pray to the same creator of this universe that you pray to. Call him whatever you wish. He calls himself I am. We call him Emmanuel, God, Jesus, Holy Spirit. Everybody has a different name for him, and he answers to all of it. King of Kings, Lord of Lords, the great I am. Call him whatever you want. There's one creator. Do you believe that? There's one creator of this world. Okay, then we have the same Father. Good, we're on the same page. Keep going. Just checking.
So,
Let him keep talking, Patrick. Now, how did you enjoy the conversation?
No, it's true that we have one father, because Isaac and Ishmael, they have 2 sons.
Yes.
And
So
we follow those 2.
It's the truth. One son. Call him whatever you want. It's our Father, Father who art in heaven.
aren't we blessed to have Chris on this call today, you guys? Amazing. And Sylvie.
Love you, Patrick. It's
I
so
love you.
fun.
I love you both. This is like beautiful how that just brought together my heart.
Yeah, well, that's the truth. And if there's only 6 of us, or 7 of us on this whole planet that believe that oneness, then we can move on from here, because it only takes 2 or more come together in my name, there I shall be also. So here we are. We're in the one Father name, and we can all come together. And that's why I can pray the greatness. And I know that this gentleman, he had the biggest blessing. And in fact, is he the richest guy on this call? Because his promise from God was wealth. Are you? Is he?
Oh, Raza?
Yeah.
Tell us, Raza, are you the richest man?
I think I used to be until I got married. Sorry, guys. I know I'm just kidding.
Our birthright. Remember, we each have our birthright. And so I say that son had the birthright to have immediate wealth. He was going to be given the wealth of all nations. So I just pray that you are declaring your birthright every single day.
I am.
Yeah, good. And we declare it too. The idea that's so fun is to see and to share the declaring together. So we know that it's all possible right here on this call, just with the talent that God has given us, each talent. And if we now call on those 3,000 promises of God, wow, that's amazing. I'm so excited. I'm just excited that Russell's got 1,000 askings by dinner tonight.
And they're all going to easily cooperate. No.
I will take a picture. I will send you everything they've written down.
Right.
Russ,
Well, I have
Their wall.
I have 3 kids, so we have 500 askings. With Sylvie, we have 600 askings going down in one house. So at one
Russ,
time.
I mean, I'm struggling with 2,000. You have got 8,000, man. You've got a long more way to go. 8,000 is not easy.
Well, change your words. If the Holy Spirit's doing it, right, the power of creation, all he has to do is ask.
Yeah, start asking now.
Each child writes a list of 100. He has 8 kids, his wife and he. So you see on his wall can be listed in one night. It's so simple. You just take out a pad of paper. We do it all the time. All the nieces, nephews, if we come over to the house, you got to give me your 100. It takes them 5 minutes.
And just remember where these 100 things come from. They all come from the Lord. We are God traders. We are not horse traders in this world. We are God traders.
We let God show it.
Show it to us however He wishes to bring into our existence. So the abundance is there and it's ever flowing. So we have some really great talks on our Million to Millionaire library about waves of abundance, and that will be also a book that everything just comes in into waves.
It just does. It comes in. If you want jewels, if you want A's on tests with 0 papers turned in, I mean, come on. It depends who your father.
We are living miracle storytellers, because like with us, the family and all the miracle group we are now for over 8 years with, there are thousands and thousands and 10,000s of stories that are created daily.
Yeah, by God. He just delivers. He's better than Amazon, guys. No, I mean, he just can do it. It's like for us to go out there and get the boxes and bring them in. And so today's talk was just showing you the beginning of how to start the flow. And that is to start asking, write it down, post it on your wall. We did a fun thing, Sylvie and I, we did a time capsule. And it was 2 years ago before we left. We just did just that. We took a piece of paper, 10 minutes. We all wrote, signed it. Each of us went around and signed each other's paper and rolled it up, stuck it in an envelope. And then I read mine, and you can watch mine if you'd like to on YouTube. Because I had zero, I went around the world. I went to 42 countries after that. Everything else was new in my mind. Climbing the Egyptian pyramid, am I thinking about what I wrote before I left it? Zero. So I read it out loud, and it was amazing how 98% of it had come true. And I only looked at it that 10 minutes that I wrote it. And this is millions of dollars we're talking. So I put it in an envelope and went around the world. Zero phone on for 10 months. And when I came back, it's all there, true. Just because you ask. So how many people before they go on a trip write down that every bank account bursts and that everything gets fixed and that you get remodeling done and before we leave? And then you leave it all to God and go and enjoy yourself. Let's get in the habit of doing that. Let's see what he can produce. He does some miraculous stuff.
So I know you guys have a millionaire group that people could join if they want, and a mentor group, and then also the 2-week mastermind Zoom call, and then the asking session.
Yep, absolutely.
Those are some information you guys can put on the chat or something.
Connected already.
Oh, do I have the Shopify? I don't see the Zoom link or whatever or is it on there?
The Zoom link for our miracle groups, that goes out the day before we meet. So
Okay.
it's a reminder. So it's every second Tuesday.
At 7 p.m. Florida time.
Yeah, EST. So you all gave me your email addresses. You will have the invitation in your inbox.
If you'd like to join us.
So next Tuesday is
fun
the next
to see
meeting.
everybody. Yeah.
And again, we recorded, and I put the channel, Receive Joy channel.
So we've been doing a group like this for 8 years, and any Tuesday night, maybe there'll be 14 and 20 of us together, that kind of thing, different people. The group actually has about 380 people in it, though we're in and out of each other's lives for years, and back in different countries.
We always make fun of that, if someone comes for the first time to our meeting and they get the one biggest miracle they always want, and then they leave, and then they're yet to be seen again. It's like, okay, they got their one miracle they wanted, so they come for one session, get their biggest miracles they were asking for years. And then they're out of your life again, and that's okay, because that's the only thing they. So
you guys, I'm happy if this is a one miracle banger for us, 1 hour. I still love you. You're all my sisters and brothers, and the great creator of this great creation.
We just challenge you. You can produce big miracles every day, and we are living.
If you like more than one, you can have that too.
We are walking testimonies of that.
Yeah. It's so fun. It really is fun. It's been great. Yes, you're in the club. So yeah.
I want to do the 1 hour asking session.
Oh, sure. Absolutely. Our pleasure. We have your email, so Sylvie will get on with you. Yeah.
So I have one question really quick. In regards to, I know when you're raising your vibration and you're attracting others at that vibration, you can continue to raise your vibration, right, as a community or as a group. What advice or what would you say when you're in a relationship where you don't have that same type of vibration? Maybe you're trying to raise your vibration, but then you have a vibration that's pulling you in the opposite direction from a spouse or a loved one or a family member. What would you what counsel or what would you say?
In the words of Bob Newman, remember the Newhart show, Bob Newhart show, and Mary Tyler Moore? Stop it. Just stop it. Be you. Keep your vibration. Whatever goes on, goes on.
And that's what showed up in my life the last couple months is I've really been diligent on the people I'm speaking with. And my daughter even was sharing with me, Dad, you just seem so happy and so present. And I thought I was pretty present before, however, even more with my language patterns. Yeah. And so I think, Russ, from my experience, is just instead of wanting to think it out, we get sometimes stuck in our thoughts. Speak it out. Just speak it. Just keep speaking the positive energy. Keep speaking the right here, right now. And things will amazingly start to unfold. And
Or
you're
you
like,
just-
huh?
Right. Or you just say, oh, I have to go to the bathroom. We'll get back to that. Right. And when you come out, change the subject. Oh, you're going on a cruise. Sounds great. Oh, your grandkids, how are they? Your daughter's in college. Is it going well for her? You know, so change the subject into something that can help them feel good about themselves. Oh, how's that book going that you're writing? Oh, I'm so excited to receive the first copy. Can I prepay for my edition? You know, lead the conversation. Remember, lead.
And we know that every change we wish to see in the world comes from inside us. So you keep on doing your greatness. You stay in your greatness, and people around you will follow you or fall away.
Right. And I offer a really great training here. You're the only eye scan is you. Your thumbprint is only you. Right? If we think anybody else is going to be in agreement with anything we ever do, guess again. And I'll use that word guess, because the only possibility, it's you and your creator in your hall of mirrors, your thumbprint, your eye scan. Only you get you. So just get you and be happy with you. You came into this world alone with your creator. You're going out of this world alone with your creator. Start practicing being alone with your creator. And you know, the 1 hour we're together, it's so beautiful because it's 1 hour of joy.
And then everyone around you just adds the cherry on top and with the sprinkles on top. Whatever they give to you, it's the sprinkles, because you came with the whole cake already baked. You have the frosting on it for you already. And then if they wish to add the cherry or whatever that topping, absolutely, I'm taking more toppings.
Right. So be the joy, count it all joy, and just live it, whatever is joy to you, and laugh about all the rest. And remember, you're allowing everything into your life. So when we come together in our group, what we always say is we leave the she, he, they at the door. We're here to talk about you alone, with your creator alone, and what you wish for your greatness. And we're cheering you on as a team here. That's what we're here for. That's what we're here for. That we're cheering you on in all your perfection and all your desires and all your happiness, because that's why we have this team. And that's why God himself formed this team, right? We're God traders. He will make a way in the wilderness. And remember, the only one wandering in the wilderness is you. It's your own wilderness. So stop it and go where you want to go, and walk like you want to walk, and smile like you want, and laugh like you want to laugh, and cheer on people as you want, and be enthusiastic because you want to be, and say yes to God because you want to.
So that hour went by fast.
Yeah, we went to
Lots of love to everyone.
Exactly. So yeah, the inside, or the golden nugget, or the I was going to say the word takeaway, but I'm reframing that word, so I'm going to use like pearls of wisdom that I got from
I like that.
the pearls of wisdom that I got from Carissa and Sylvie today was what I really mean. What I really mean. It's like, what I really mean is this, God. And that was something that I definitely can keep applying right here, right now. How about with you? What's the pearls of wisdom that you got, Jean?
It's the not using the negative word, but the positive word. So I used to say to my kids, don't forget to do this. So I say, remember to do this.
Yes. Remember your keys. Remember your backpack. Walk steady. Set that milk on the counter.
Russell, how about you, my friend? What's the pearls of wisdom that you can give?
I really love the speak and be rich, you know, because I've read Bob Proctor's book and did all that at the beginning. And so I do. I love the change your words, change what you're putting out there so you can attract what you're wanting, what your birthright is.
That's right, your birthright. And so with Bob Proctor, again, you're standing on his shoulders. I love all his things, though he has yet to understand the power of the word. That's what we come in. He's 83. Now we take it and we can change and elevate even more.
Yeah. And you all know how much I love Tony. I'm on his team and everything. And this is what got my attention, is when Carissa was calling out my man, Tony Robbins. I was like, what is she talking about? And then as she started speaking and breaking it down, and then she started using the Bible and going into this truth, I was like, she's exactly, I mean, he's got a beautiful message. However, when I was in business mastery and I'm hearing the words and I'm hearing these things going like, it's just so aware, the awareness of seeing, it's like seeing a whole different paradigm shift in the world. And that's what I'm going to invite with everybody is after today's call, how you speak has been completely changed because now you know what you did not know.
Right, right. So you're rediscovering the truth. That's why it's right there on the very front of our cover. Always rediscover the truth. Okay, so it's always been there. It's always the truth. Going back to the story that we're talking about of Isaac and Ishmael, there was also, when we talk about the language being stripped from the people and scattered into many different tongues and many different speeches, there was also something else that happened at that time. And besides also slang coming into it, it was this very moment of what is it that we can be and do? What is it? He made awareness hidden, and we call it a veil over awareness. And in this very moment, that veil is lifted, right? Everybody here on this call, that word, that phrase, no problem, forever gone out of our mouths. And now only glory, greatness, good for you, good on you, right? We're going to replace it with my pleasure. Absolutely. That is wonderful. So the veil is lifted. And there was always awareness, and now that we have the awareness back and the veil is lifted, we can speak our way to all the greatness we wish. And that's what every master did. And that's why when you open the books, whether it is the Quran or the Bible or whatever book you open, it's full of one thing: words. And that's what we're left with. And now, if it was that important from our forefather to leave words in all languages, how important it is for us to look back at our words and start saying, okay, if they're that important, what am I formulating here? Let me edit it 3 times. What I really mean is, and then say what I really mean and cross out anything and then say, could I restate that?
Even when you think about like the Declaration of Independence or our Constitution, it was all, we declare our freedom. Boom.
You got it. The Declaration of Independence. They knew it 200 years ago. They knew they had to declare something. I declare independence. Declaration. Okay, there you go.
Right there.
Right there.
Mm-hmm. And then now we see the importance of going back. So we have to redeclare.
So there's something that you're yet to achieve. Go back now and redeclare exactly what you're calling forth from God. Redeclare it. Declare it with intimate detail. In our journals, what we do is we make a list of 9 details. So I declare, and you put what you're declaring, and then write 9 details to make sure if you want a lady's garment or a man's garment, you're going to get which one you'd like. You have to say lady's garment. You have to say what size you'd like. It's time for us to say what price we're going to pay, what color we'd like it, how long the sleeves are, what's the length of the pant leg if it's pants. The details are important if you're wanting to see your delivery fit you. So please customize your asking.
It's like
customize.
It's big asking, and then it's specific
Customize.
asking.
Yes, customize your asking after you've made your list of 100. Then certain things you want to go back in and you'd like to customize.
Yep, customize. Yep.
Yeah, and we call it put parameters around it. And what that means is it helps the universe deliver in the Amazon package exactly which part you're looking for your shower, if that's the case, right? So if you have a specific asking, please help the universe narrow things down and deliver to you the exact part that you would love in the color, in the fit, in the style, in the size, in the date of delivery. You can ask all kinds of things. So the idea with younger people, and I'm going to call us all younger because this is our first hour of this together, is start with a list of 100. Just write it down, and then pick a couple of them that you'd like to further play in, and start playing and putting some details down, or cut pictures out and stick it on there. Yeah. And then watch how the universe has taken one silly idea, Ferrari, one idea, and it has put things in place. If you can go back in your mind 20 years and see how it's already been building that. Oh my gosh, it's amazing when you can see back and you say, oh my gosh, the universe has already been sending.
Told them about the 83 years ago.
Yeah, yeah. So enjoy the pieces as it's been put together for you, and see it. Yeah. Well, thank you, Patrick, for the invitation.
Thank you.
All for your time.
Yeah, thank you. We took
Thank you,
any
guys.
pearls of wisdom you want to give real quick, Carol and Raza, before as they wrap up.
Well, I just like the part about not bringing in the negativity of the past, and staying in the future, in the now and the future. I thought that was really good.
Oh, thank you. Yes. And we're very thankful for any authors who will do that, because it's time for our youth to just hear greatness. They've already heard it all. The other,
Right.
We've complained for how many years as a population?
Yeah.
How about you, Raza? Any pearls of wisdom?
I think it's just what I've heard and learned is just to solidify what I used to practice. In terms of that, just a little example I remember when I was 19-year-old. When you're young, your blood tends to boil a lot, and you get these small pimps in your face. And I read somewhere that if you think and imagine that you're the most handsome person, that happens, and that actually happened. So
Yes.
I have actually tested that.
Became a bubbly, handsome man.
Yeah,
And now
like
we get to see him.
yeah, and my cousins and everything is like, what's happened to you? You're looking very smart, fresh, and everything. I said, nothing. I don't know. They asked me, am I taking any treatment? Am I doing anything to my face? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. And to date, it is still the same.
Right. Yeah, that's wonderful.
Well, I want to thank you guys for coming and giving us this amazing 2 hours. It was like exceeded any yes. So yeah.
Thank you for your time. Yeah.
And
Appreciate that.
anytime you want to come and be part of this group, it's an open invitation. So I mean, just to share and be whatnot there. So that would be my, yeah. And my biggest pearls wisdom is how grateful I am that we met on that ski lift that day. Even the whole, it's just amazing. I mean, it's just, and then to be able to see you in Florida and spend time with you that afternoon, and I had to get back. It was just a beautiful experience. And then be able to have this group say, hey, are you guys open to meet these two amazing ladies that I met in Florida? Come on our group. And everyone's like, yeah, sure, why not? And I was like, okay. And then here we are. So how beautiful is that? So
Yep. Continue the blessings, everyone.
Either life.
Thank you. I think that, and there is a thing where we
God
call it
bless
the
you all.
time and
Yes.
place. And in time and place, you will meet people who will be there in your journey. And I think this is what's happening.
yep.
Mm-hmm.
Just that, and this whole group, literally, we just kind of came together out of nothing, and it's formed into this beautiful community, and it's morphing into something really, really special. And I think none of us have actually physically met anybody. Like, I met another member. She's not in our group as right now, but she came to Colorado, but we met. But physically, like, it's all been a virtual experience. So that's what makes it even more like
So,
beautiful.
well, we'll get to meet.
But I gotta meet you too. I gotta meet you too. So physically, yeah.
Carol and us. Yeah.
I'm so happy
Yeah.
to hear that this is happening now all over the world with things, because that is how we founded Million True Millionaires. We were at a seminar, we were at the back of the room, and we were saying, okay, all the knowledge is already in this room, all the great people, and they're standing on stage and preventing us from interacting with each other when everything is here already. So that's when we founded Million True Millionaires and said, let's make a million true millionaires. And
Yeah.
millionaires in a sense of, you know, whatever your passion, whatever your mission is,
Right.
bring it forth into this world and share it with each other, and the askings and the masterminds. And
Right.
so this
Is it, can these members join millionaire?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So
Okay.
it's an
I'm
open
gonna join too. I'm doing it.
to give you an idea what we do, as we have this platform as www.milliontruemillionaires.com, and on there we have a library build of all the teachings we already did, because every Monday we meet like you guys meet, and we're having a teaching, and every first day Monday of the month we're sharing our askings and our miracles. So just to keep us asking, because for some members they joined, and Patrick joined us. Did you join us once for the Million True Millionaire call?
No, I've never joined that group, but I'm joining. So
it's just an hour of us either teaching, or a member teaches another member, teaches us. So on next Monday we have Harald from Austria teach us about Ho'oponopono, like the Hawaiian energy method. So that's next, and then we talk about our mission statement and updating that. So every Monday, 12:30 EST,
Yes.
we are coming together and with people from Europe. So we have the steady group, it's also our mastermind. And we record these messages, and we have that in the library. And in the library also we have teachings we did before, like advanced trainings. For example, one training is an hour training about satisfaction, how important that is. A training about receiving, a training about, so we have different trainings there. And then you have all the links to the miracle group that are now also for free on YouTube.
Yeah.
And so what we were asking to keep this platform operating is that every member pays a yearly fee of $225.
Right. And that'll be all like this hour that we had, this will be on there. Every teaching that Sylvie and I do is on there, all inclusive. And the reason I did that, Patrick, is okay, so when you've got millions, it's fine. Though when we've got young kids, right, Russell, and Anthony Robbins is charging $5,000 to $9,000 a seminar, how are our children going to afford to do that at 21 when they're paying school bills back and all this kind of stuff? And so that was why I said, this stuff is the same teaching. You said it yourself, Patrick. It's packaged in different ways. We all have so much to say. How about we offer a platform that even our children can get together, and we can cheer each other on, whatever age they are, whatever, and that there is an energy like this going on. And so the $225 is just to pay the administration fee for somebody to put the stuff online. And it's Adina who's part of the group. She does it all. And so the website to keep it going and to pay for the GoDaddy and all that kind of stuff.
it's $225 for the year, correct?
The year. Everything I ever speak out loud is on there. And you can listen to as many times as you want or whatever. You share it with anybody you want. It's just an administrative fee.
And I'm in the process of setting up an affiliate program. So if you join and then have someone else coming on, it can make you like an income.
Yeah, your fee will go down, right? So basically it's just for the youth. My dream, and so I want to just share this really quick so that like Russell can really get into this and for the youth. The other day, these 3 young kids came up and they saw my house and they had their camera out and they're taking video and all that.
I was there that day.
Yeah. So can I come inside? And yeah, come on inside. And so they have hits, right? They're already getting hits. And just what we're talking about is, how can we be positive as 20-year-olds, 19-year-olds? How can we be positive in a world like this that we left them, right? And they have 120,000 hits. And all of us have an opportunity to put influential messages on this. They're waiting for 1 million hits. They have 0 products to sell. It's just to help people have something to listen to that's worthwhile. What a wonderful thing. And so I was like, okay, God, if you had them drive up my driveway, come on in, right? Let's give the youth something to look forward to, something that it used to all be educate yourself, get the best grades, be the doctor, the lawyer. How about be real, love the Lord? How about understand we're all one? How about everything, if you put your mind to it and have a will like you did, then you follow your will, it can be done. And so to encourage this group of young people that is growing, it's way over 120,000 now. That was when you were there, Patrick. And that we could present to them, each of us could present whatever it is, 10, and they would like 10-minute segments. So that was the dream of Million True Millionaires is that if I can guide them, if I did it for myself, And I'm 57. They can do it much quicker as a young age, and I can give them steps and guidance and bring God back to it, and and pray with them. So when they interview me, I start with the prayer to bring, invite Creator of all into the room. How about we share that with the youth outside of church, right? We're just in my house. We're just people meeting on the street, and we can say a prayer and ask the blessing of the Creator.
Look, we got to see.
I mean,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Mike. This is pretty amazing. We went 2.3, 2.5 hours. So we have to give your time back. So anyways,
Lots of love.
thanks very much.
lots of
Thank you.
Thank you.
thank you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you guys so much.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.